Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon Phillip Rivers' 10th son, Perna. And today, after breaking down the Chiefs and the Raiders in my last two AFC West videos, I'm moving on to the homeless Warriors, the Los Angeles Chargers, the team no city wants, but a team that just may end up at the top of the AFC West in 2018, which, if true, the Chargers should consider changing their names after the 2011 Academy Award-winning film, Hobo with a Shotgun. Phillip Rivers, Hobo in Shotgun, a coming-of-age story as a bunch of vagabonds rise to the top while battling daily traffic in LA. If I can quote my pseudo-friend on YouTube, Urinating Tree, fuck you, Spanos. That's Good Sports. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're already subbed, please click the notification button. And my friend Will Keys wrote an article on ThatsGoodSports.com as to why he thinks the Chargers will not win the division. Give it a read because he brings up some good points that I believe are true, and he may be right, but I disagree about this current Chargers team, and it has everything to do with their defense. The Chargers were probably the least active team in free agency this offseason, at least within the AFC West. That usually means your team is close to being a contender, or you're the Green Bay Packers, or your owner is a cheap son of a bitch. My only question for the Chargers is, can they not start the 2018 season by barely losing all of their games? I think the answer might finally be yes. They have stability at the quarterback position. Rivers had a great year in 2017, 4,500 passing yards, 28 TDs, and only 10 picks. I think Anthony Lynn may be the best coach in the division in 2018. Sorry, Andy Reid. Not sorry, John Gruden. Vance Joseph, you're not even in the fucking conversation right now. Which leads me to the Chargers' secret weapon in kicker Caleb Sturgis. The kicking game cost the Chargers dearly in 2018, especially week 1 against the Broncos when Young-Ho Koo had his game-tying kick blocked, which he followed up next week with a game-winning attempt from 44 yards out against the Dolphins that he missed. He shanked 2 kicks in that game. This prompted the Chargers to cut him and re-sign Nick Novak after week 4, who really wasn't better, finishing the season with the 69% make percentage, making him Gronkowski's favorite kicker.
Super Bowl 69, nice.
Hell, even the Chargers' former kicker, Josh Lambo, beat them in overtime with a game-winning kick in Jacksonville. Caleb Sturgis lost his job in Philly due to injury last season, and he was coming off his best year in 2016 as an 85% gooch blaster, which is on par with what Adam Vinatieri did last year and what Brandon McManus did during the Broncos Super Bowl run. If Sturgis were an 85% field goal maker for the Chargers in 2017, they may have won some of, possibly all 4 games they lost by 3 points or less. 3 of those 4 coming in the first 4 weeks of the season. Two made field goals in 2017 gives them an 11-5 record, ahead of KC for first place in the division. That's how close the Chargers were to the playoffs. Now, the Chargers' defense will be the best in the division, unless Bradley Chubb is as good as Joey Bosa was his rookie season. Last year, the Chargers had the 3rd most effective pass rush in the league, behind only Philly and Saxonville. And they had the best pass coverage rating behind only Jacksonville. The Chargers added a stud of a safety in the first round of the draft in Derwin James, who the Raiders were too stupid to select. Casey Hayward was the best corner in the NFL last season, according to Pro Football Focus, and maybe, just maybe, if Jason Verrett stays healthy, the Chargers will have a top 3 secondary in the NFL in 2018, competing against Jacksonville and the Rams for that title. Their rookie slot corner, Desmond King, was terrific last year. With the healthy Verrett, the Chargers have the Broncos' blueprint for their 2015 Super Bowl run. 3 top-notch corners, 2 great safeties in James and Addae, and 2 extremely dangerous edge rushers in Ingram and Bosa, like Ware and Miller. On the D-line, Derek Wolfe was suspended to start 2015 for 4 games, just like Corey Liuget is now. Rivers is old like Manning was in 2015, but much healthier and with no HGHG or Papa John's, and both had/have a shitty offensive line to protect them. Defensively, The one area the Chargers can get a lot better is against the run. They were second worst in the league last year. Their middle linebackers are still average at best, and they didn't make any serious upgrades to that level on the defense, unless Safety Derwin James is used like a linebacker against the run. If the Chargers stumble, it will be because they failed to really upgrade the linebacking core and their offensive line. They added center Mike Pouncey, who's declined in play each of the last 3 seasons, and have Joe Barksdale, Russell Okung, and Michael Schofield, who couldn't crack the top 25 in tackle ratings. That's better than Denver, who couldn't crack the top fucking 40. The line is less important when you have a top-tier QB like Phillip Rivers, but hell, the Patriots, whose line struggled in pass protection in 2017, finished as the best run-blocking unit in the league. And because of Brady/McDaniels' play calling, Pro Football Focus ranked their line as 8th best in pass protection. 8th best, and everyone said that line sucked last year. The Chargers were 25th worst in pass protection, 2 spots ahead of Denver, and Phillip Rivers still threw for 4,500 yards. My point is, imagine how fucking good they could be if they seriously addressed the offensive line. Now, the biggest blow to the Chargers' offense came in May, when tight end Hunter Henry tore his ACL. Next to Keenan Allen, he may have scored the most receiving touchdowns for the Chargers in 2018. And with the departure of Antonio Gates, unless he comes back, LA is left with former Broncos tight end Virgil Green, who they definitely signed to help block on the edges, not catch passes. Green has 71 receptions in his 7-year NFL career. Hunter Henry had 81 in 2 seasons, but Green is an expert at help picking up Michael Schofield's missed blocks. Neither the Chargers nor the Broncos received much help from their 2017 draft class, both due to injuries to some of their key picks. Los Angeles will get guard Forrest Lamp back, which they desperately need on that offensive line, and wide receiver Mike Williams, who, if healthy, should thrive with Phillip Rivers throwing him the ball. Then in 2018, they added Uchenna Nwosu, another very good pass rusher to relieve Bosa and Ingram when they get tired. Nwosu is basically like the Broncos version of Shane Ray in 2015. And wide receiver Dylan Cantrell, who many are excited to see, especially AFC rival Bill Belichick, who has already football masturbated to this pasty wide receiver hundreds of times. In 2017, the Chargers defense ranked 3rd in points allowed with 17, 3rd in yards allowed with 197, but 31st in rush yards allowed with 131 a game. The Broncos, in contrast, were 3rd in yards allowed, 4th in pass yards, and 5th in rush yards, but died in 2017 because they gave up 23.9 points per game, a touchdown more than the Chargers, because the Broncos had no help from their offense. I believe the Chargers have found their defensive identity and now sit exactly where the Broncos sat in 2015 with an assumed much better performance from their quarterback. Bottom line, the Chargers got better this offseason by doing very little in free agency and having a strong draft. If center Mike Pouncey can play at the level we saw him a few years ago, and Forrest Lamp is a solid guard, Rivers should be just as good, if not better in 2018, with the interior of his pocket being double-stitched. Pocket joke. Not only do I think the Chargers defense has talent, I think it has solid depth, and should be even better in their 2nd year with defensive coordinator Gus Bradley. The Hobos with the shotgun on paper are definitely the favorites to win the AFC West in 2018, and unless Case Keenum outdoes his 2017 performance, I think the Chargers will, and it pains me to say this, finish 1st in the West. I say that though, fully expecting the Chargers to prove me fucking wrong. Also, again, if injuries ransack any of these teams, everything I just said is bullshit. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna if you want to follow me and talk football shit there. I love to do it with ya. My website is ThatsGoodSports.com. Check it. And then don't wreck it, because it'd be a pain to fix the website if you wrecked it.